Good day, my name is Georjann Morriseau and I'm running for Chief of Fort William First Nation in the 2015 elections. Come on out on Saturday and exercise your right as a member to vote and exercise your voice in the upcoming elections on April 11th, 2015.
I'm Kelly Spolsky. We're here on the Renaissance Cafe stage. It's Thunder Bay Live. We're here with Georjann Morriseau. And I understand there's an election coming up.
Yes, there is, in less than a week on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's been happening?
Lots has been happening. I mean, during election time, it's obviously it's a chaos, all over the place, and I mean, everybody's kind of gearing up, to put their best foot forward for the new term. So it's been very busy, but we still maintain productivity. We try to continue to operate. We try to maintain a level of respect, throughout the elections, and I mean, I think that's important, right? It's important that all of our candidates maintain that.
Yes.
And it's more for the community. It's more so that the community feels comfortable, they feel confident, but that they also feel that they can have a voice without feeling judged or compromised in any way.
Are there any indications that there's more younger people interested in these elections this year?
I think there's more interest from a younger population in terms of voting. We've been really sending that message out pretty loud and clear, and that as young people and emerging leaders get up, come and vote, exercise not only your right but your voice in the community, because it is important. In terms of candidacy, I haven't seen as much young people as I'd like to see. I'd like to see a lot more young people, a lot more women stepping up to leadership roles, and I think that might come in time. I think it's just a matter of the dynamics of elections and voting, and I think just getting used to it, and but also maintaining a positive environment throughout elections, I think, is key as well.
And how many people are actually in this year's elections? I know it's just not for chief, it's also for a seat on the board.
Well, for council, I believe we have around 70 candidates. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a large list.
Lot.
It's a very large list of candidates. And then for chief, I believe we have 4. One has since then pulled his name out. So.
Okay, so there's Peter.
There's Peter, Ken Ogama, Glenn Sancho Bannon, myself, and Mark Boucher.
Okay. And who is the candidate that pulled out?
Glenn Bannon.
Okay.
Yeah, he has since withdrew his candidacy.
Okay. And with the elections coming on Saturday, have you been knocking on doors? I know that's really hard to do, but
you know what? I knock on doors, but I think with the way that I do things is it's a little bit more holistic. It's a little bit more family oriented. I tend to go sit with a lot of our older people, like our elders. I do sit with young people, and I sit in groups. I always find that families feel more comfortable when they have a group of them together, so that they can engage, more as a collective than just one-on-one. So what I do is I invite the opportunity to sit down with families and kind of go over our mission and our mandate and what I hope to offer in terms of leadership to the community. But it also gives me an opportunity to kind of hear what's going on in their lives, and some of the things that maybe I can do better, or some of the things that they feel they're happy with or they feel need to change. So those are the opportunities that we have to sit down and kind of go through that.
That's a very engaging way of doing things. It's very much appreciated when a family can bring in everybody. Because everybody has a voice.
Absolutely.
Whether it's one speaking for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do. You have, family heads, and you do have, kind of the matriarchs of the family who do a lot of the speaking and a lot of the feeling and talking. And, it is appreciated, because, I mean, they carry the voice of their family, right? So we respect that, and, again, I always welcome that opportunity.
No, as job of chief, you have been chief, and what is that job like? A little bit experience for you, like what motivates you?
It's you have to be everything, from a doctor to a lawyer to a child welfare worker. I mean, you got to know a little bit about everything. There is no preparation, for the job of chief, or the role of chief, or any leader in any community for that matter. I mean, you kind of come in with a little bit of wet feet of that, and you have to pretty well learn as you go. So I mean, for each person, it's obviously different. For me, it was quite a learning curve, because I came in so quickly. I mean, I spent one term on council, and then immediately I was injected into the role of chief. And I can't say I didn't expect, what the job entailed. I think, it's pretty well met my expectations. but it's very busy. It's very busy. It can be taxing not only on your health but your family.
Yes.
You have to be here, there, and everywhere at times. Sometimes you have to be two places at once. You have to always have your foot on the ground and ready to go when somebody calls.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
So
busy.
you're a mom first,
I'm a mother first,
wife,
a wife.
family, obviously,
Very,
and
very important.
a pillar in your community. And have to ask, what motivates a person to go beyond just looking after their home? Like, I can't imagine. I envy you. I think you're amazing. What wanted you to be a leader? What drove you to that?
You know, I think you kind of, I mean, I've always been the type of person that always wanted to help out. I mean, it's the way I was raised. My grandmother raised me to be, you know, that type of a person, and, you know, always help and give a lending hand where you can, and don't just sit back and wait for others to do it for you. Get up and do it yourself. And I think I carried some of those qualities and attributes into my role as counselor. And then while on council, you know, I was very active. I was very active. I did a lot of volunteering. You know, I was, you know, quite a strong voice in the community and trying to engage and say, look, you know what, this is your community. You really need to pay attention. Like, we really need to look at how we function. We also need to look at the bigger picture and the future of our community, right? So I think that's what somewhat motivated me. I mean, we're also entering into a new era of transparency and communication. And I really wanted to bring that, and I wanted to take that forward and expand on that. Because, I mean, with the stereotypes that follow our First Nations, especially in the political realm, you know, I think a lot of people have these perceptions of First Nations that were kind of loosely put together.
Prejudicial stigmatism.
You know, it is, absolutely. And I mean, in some cases it's true, but at the same time, there are those of us who are willing to change that. And, you know, I really wanted to carry that forward and try to open things up, open up the book, say, here, community, this is what your First Nation, here is your First Nation at a glance. And, you know, you can take that and do what you will with it, but really what you want to do is you want to be able to expand on your mandate and your vision for your community and see how you can bring that forward and really make it something that your community takes ownership of.
That's a perfect answer. Now my next question is, who was your mentor growing up?
My mentor was my grandmother. Yeah, my grandmother, she raised me from the time I was a baby, and she's been there for me through thick and thin. She's been my rock, right? So she's my backbone, and you know, I took a lot of hard teachings from her, a lot of hard lessons, but they were all for the right reason. And you know, I look at who I am today, and those teachings have really defined the type of leader I am, the type of mother I am, and also the type of community citizen that I am. You know, I mean, like I said, I contribute where I can. You know, I don't just remain complacent and sit back. You know what, when I feel something needs to be done, I bring that idea forward and say, here, let's try this out, right?
And it's paramount to bring change with the right motivation. You seem to have the right motivation.
For the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not just about family and home, it's for everybody, because your kids have to grow up and live in the community.
They do, absolutely. And I mean, it's been hard. I mean, it's been difficult. I mean, thankfully I have a wonderful husband and 3 wonderful children who do support me. My kids are small. I mean, they don't necessarily understand it, but they love me unconditionally, and that's what matters most. And my husband as well. I mean, he's there. He supports me. He helps me where he can, and we kind of lean on each other.
That's
right?
where it should happen, is
Absolutely.
at home, and then out in the community.
Absolutely, because I don't think I could do what I do, especially given the amount of time I have to put in. You know, if I didn't have good, strong family support behind me.
The roots have to be there.
They do.
And it sounds like you're very rooted, and you have a great support system.
Yes, I do.
Well, I wanted to wish you luck this weekend, or
you.
Saturday. When do the polls open?
They open on Saturday morning at 8 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So sleepless night for you?
It's going to be, because the polls open and then they close, I believe, at 8 p.m.
Oh,
and
wow.
then they start the count at 9. So it's an all-nighter.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a long night. Lots of coffee and tea.
Coffee and tea, wow. And when will they be announcing? Around 9 o'clock?
I figure as soon as they're done counting, so I'd say around 9 o'clock in the morning is probably by time they finalize everything, get the
So it'll be an overnight, you won't know until Sunday morning?
No, well, I'll be there all night, so I'll know Sunday morning as soon as they're done counting.
Wow, something to watch for.
It is, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, it's going to be nerve-wracking.
I wish you lots of luck,
Thank you.
and I can't wait to see the results.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope so. I'm going to need as much luck as I can get, but you know what? I appreciate it.
Once again, this is Kelly and Georjann. We're Thunder Bay Live.